Therefore, we have to acquire knowledge for our empowerment. And knowledge capturing and professional enhancement is the key of the success. And you are also going to discuss about the opportunity. Now, in a day, the human resource all are treated like a commodity in a global market under WTO and GATT. And therefore, we have to grab the opportunity by our professional refinement, by capturing knowledge, by acquiring skills, developing the right kind of attitude. This is the objective of the outcome-based educations. And this topic is very important for our students and as well as our teachers. And there are different components of professionalism. I think everything will be defined by you. What is the definitions of professionalism and what are the opportunities in the global market? And now in the global world, we should talk about the global world where opportunities are waiting for each and every one if you are competent. And this is the Indian potential that we are exporting people to USA, importing material. This is the power of India, power of our professionals, power of our young generations. And this is the essence of India in a present day. And they all professionals are remitting money more than the trade remittance by way of business. So this is the power, and in this way, India is becoming richer day by day, and we are moving towards the one of the important empowered country, and each and every nation is recognizing the power of India, and no one is now able to ignore India because of this professionals, success of our engineers, our technocrats, our scientists, and we are producing human resource students from different IIT, different IM, different medical institutions, and they are all contributing to the economy of all the developed country. But we are, by this way or that way, we are not a developed country till date. And slowly we are moving towards becoming developed country from the developing country. And with all these words, sir, I pay my respect to you and request all my friends and all my students to give a loud clapping to Professor. Sir, now you can start your deliberations.
Thank you, Professor Nirmal ji. Always, the frequency of Shuprakash and Professor Nirmal matches, age-wise, thinking-wise, on all count. Young, energetic, and person. So, at the outset, I would like to thank Professor Nirmal Kumar ji and all the deans, HODs, faculty members, and my dear students, for the opportunity that you have given to me to, address my. I like to know from Sumit, is it the second year, third year, fourth year students are there? Sumit, can you just respond?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No first year.
No first year, no.
Okay. So that's first thing I want. And can you see my slides? Is my presentation visible?
Okay. Yes, sir. Visible.
Okay. Thank you very much. I completely agree with Professor Nirmal Kumar ji. I think we should go from developing to developed country. If, always at the outset, let me tell, people say if you want to do innovation, be in India, because India, I is innovation. So anyone who gets graduated here, I am pretty sure that they get both professionalism and also across the country. Our students are there in the world. Name it any country, Australia to America, everywhere they are there. So therefore, I thought today I can talk to all my dear students from second year, third year, fourth year. Some of you are going to spend 3 years, 3 more years. Some of you are spending 2 years and 1 year. But eventually, you will be the graduates of the government college, Bharat. You have to be proud alumni of your institution. Wherever you go, whatever you do, you take the flag high. So as usual, let me tell some of the roles of the student. The first important thing as a student, learning. Please see that 4 years fruitfully you use. If you can do well in the 4 years, next 40 years of your career is fixed. Your life, style, good esteemed life you can lead. So 4 years are very, very important thing in your education. So learn as much as you can. There is no boundaries now. Lot of things are available. Thanks to our COVID also, lot of opportunities. So therefore, learning should be your first primary assignment. Second one is little research. Don't think research is always, PhD student will do. I've seen high school student doing research. When I went to IIT Bombay, Kishore Vaidyanik Protsahana Yojana, where 10 students are given fellowships, they come up with some great ideas. So therefore, ideas are there in place like yours, not in Delhi, Bangalore, Calcutta. They enjoy their life. But I always have seen Gaya, I've seen Muzaffarpur, I've seen Motihari, Bharat. Of course, your institution I am yet to visit, but I am told the kind of leaders that we have, the kind of potential that all our kids have in Bihar. Always one thing I tell everywhere in the country, if you take number of IAS officers, it is from Bihar. Great people, they are from Bihar. Nalanda University, which is a very, foreigners were there, were coming here to study, that is in Bihar. So Aryabhatta, anything I name, Bihar is known. So therefore, be proud that you are in Bihar. Be proud that you have joined this institution. Be proud that you have an alma mater. Peer mentoring, why I'm saying is those who are in third and fourth year of your career, those who have an aptitude, try to mentor the first year, second year. When they join after 10+2, they will find it difficult. Annual exam, they have a different nature of understanding. When they come here, all semester, quizzed in, every week test, all these. Please, peer mentoring. Peers means student mentoring another student. So therefore, you please, some of you, definitely I'm sure you are capable. Please mentor them, put them in the right place when they join first year BTech. And you students are reformers. Without you, the country will never, the country like India, our young population is very high. If you go to Japan, all elderly people in Europe. So I think our country is blessed with youngsters like you. I think you should reform the country. And ethics is extremely important for all of you. Let me tell you to begin with a little story so that you enjoy. All of you know Sir C.V. Raman, who was the first Nobel laureate, Asian Nobel laureate to have got in physics in 1930 because of Raman effect. He could explain why blue sky is blue. So that's why Raman, today every year we celebrate Science Day, 28th February. So I do expect your institution also next 28th February do celebrate the Science Day. C.V. Raman was the first Indian Institute of Science director. After his directorship, he moved out and started one more institute in Bangalore called Raman Research Institute. So he wanted to take some research assistant for his research. Thousands of application came, shortlisted, written exam, another interview. Finally, 5 were sent to Sir C.V. Raman to interview. So after the interview, he selected the 3 which he wanted. And at the end of the day, after the interview is over, he was coming out of the institute in a small car, and he saw a person a student who attended the interview was walking very sadly, dejectedly. He stopped his car, asked him, why you are so dejected? Is it because you did not get selected in the interview? No, sir. I was given a small travel expenses, and office person has given 15 paisa more. So I went there. He was not there. Therefore, I could not return. I don't know how to return. Sir C.V. Raman said, is all right. Can you come and meet me tomorrow? Who doesn't like to meet Sir C.V. Raman? He went there. He met him and settled the account. And he said, you have failed in the physics interview yesterday, but you have passed in the honesty. I am going to create 4th position. If you are interested, you can come and join me tomorrow. And he joins, he works, later he goes to America, and finally he is none other than our proud Nobel laureate, Professor S. Chandrasekhar. So this is the ethics, integrity. This is because of that honesty, he could even join Sir C.V. Raman. Later he became the Nobel laureate. Friendship is more important for all of you. Make a lot of friends. That takes you to me. And all my dear students, you should have 3 important qualities: humor, humility, and humanism. Even our Mahatma Gandhi said once, but for my humor, I would have got suicide long ago in one of the talk. So keep smiling and make others smile. Humility is all about giving credit to the others. So one of the chemists, wanted to invent iodine, but before he could do that, other person invented, and he gave all credit to him. People like us would have said, no, I invented iodine, he got the prize and all that, but he didn't. So always try to give credit to others wherever possible. Humanism is important, not necessarily money, even intellectually. I told you the senior student can help junior student, and even among the class, you can help each other. You have to benchmark yourself individually. I want to do this. In the 4 year in this college, I do this. Therefore, the beneficiary is you. You will be in a good job. You enjoy your life, and your family will be happy, and your institute is definitely will be happy. And another little story before I start is think differently. Now you're all professional graduates. It's not like BA, BSc, BCom, and other degrees. Medical and technical, they are professional degree. So therefore, 4 years, some of you have 3 years to go, 2 years to go, 1 year to go. You put yourself some benchmark. I want to do this, I want to achieve, I want to go for this kind of a job. So you have to start, for that, you have to start thinking differently. So the story goes like this. Professor Nirmal Kumar, our principal, invited 5 greatest scientists. They are Aristotle, Newton, Einstein, Heisenberg, and Pauli. They were all attended a conference. At the end of the day, before dinner, they were walking around, and one of the journalists caught them, and then he wanted to ask a question. Surprisingly, he saw a chicken was crossing the road. He asked him why chicken is crossing the road. Aristotle said, that is the nature of the chicken. The same question was asked to Newton. Newton said, if chicken is at rest, it will be at rest. If chicken is moving with velocity, then all of you know F equal to ma derived. Thirdly, our great Einstein came. Einstein said, I don't know whether chicken crossed the road or road crossed beneath the chicken, depends on frame of reference. Fixed frame, moving frame, theory of relativity. So the beauty is the question that is asked by the journalist is same, but each one is thinking differently. The 4th turn was our Heisenberg, quantum physicist. He said chicken was moving with very high velocity. I could not measure accurately. Uncertainty principle. No 2 parameters can be measured accurately. Lastly, Pauli, a Nobel laureate, he said, no, chicken has not crossed the road. There is already a chicken on the other side. all of us know little chemistry, no two electron can occupy the same energy state. So this is the beauty. I think why I told you this story is you should all think differently. That takes you a good professionalism and lot of opportunities will come in your way. Another small thing that I want to say about Einstein is Einstein was a teacher. He conducted an exam is over, valuation is over. One of the students went to Einstein, sir, the first question had 10 marks and I wrote correct answer. You gave me 0 marks. Then Einstein said, why do you say? No, last year the question was repeated. My senior notes, I took it. Makika Maki, I wrote it. He got 10 out of 10. I am getting 0. Einstein said, what you say is right. The question that I asked last year, question that I am asking this year, both are same. But answer that your senior wrote was the answer for that question. But today, for the same question, answer is different. Science has grown. So that is the way it is moving. Technology is moving fast. Science is moving fast. You have to learn. You have to modern tools. You have to learn many things that you have to learn while you are there in the college. So with this little brief introduction, let me say my talk today, I'm going to talk about science, engineering, and technology, a minute or two, so that you know what science is, what is engineering is, what technology is, and also what is education 4.0. What is expected after you graduate today? That's what, let me spend some 3-4 minutes. And industry also has grown to 4.0. What is the expectation of the industry? How do I adapt myself? How do I show myself that I will fit into the industry? And therefore, this needs good learning. What is good learning? How are we doing? Are we learning? If so, wow, I will talk about that. Of course, today, pandemic, virtual lab. I will not spend much time, 2-3 minutes. You need to, there are, of course, luckily you may be able to go to college, but in cities like Bangalore, Delhi, Bombay, students are not coming. They don't even come for next 4 months. So online exam, virtual exam, online teaching, they're all out of day. So therefore, technology comes in the way. So what are the different technologies available? Where there is a potential job opportunity for you, I will try to speak at the last point. And lastly, to become a good professional and good, opportunity that you want to create, you need to have 3 important things. Number 1, technical skill, sound technical skill. Learn, you don't sacrifice the time for that. Please learn the technical skill. Managerial skill is important in the private sector. So how to manage, how to lead, how to do things in the teamwork, they are important. And finally, soft skill, which I will tell at the end. Soft skill is one is communication skill. You should know how to communicate. So whatever is there in your mind, you should be able to communicate. So this will take you and give good opportunities. So as I promised, scientists, engineers, and technologists, I am not going to read. All of you know whom we call scientists, whom we call engineers, whom we call technologists. The example possibly will elaborate on this. Car, if you take a car will not come onto the road unless the scientists understand the braking system, the scientists understand the air conditioning and so on. The engineers will go design a car on a drawing board, and finally technologists bring the car. So therefore, scientists are required, engineers are required, technology is required. So after your graduation, you decide what you want to become. You want to pursue science, you want to pursue engineering, you want to pursue technology. So the scientists generally read, I'm told, and engineers won't write. But students have to read and write. Without that, you cannot even survive. So COVID, don't think it's an opportunity. Today, you could hear me, right? I'm in Bangalore, you are there, but still we are contacting each other. So that is all because of the COVID. So COVID, in a positive sense, is an opportunity. So we have to create an opportunity for what? Victory in disaster. So COVID itself is, a lot of advantages that is given. Of course, there are disadvantages. Economy has gone down. We are all in trouble. Jobs have come down, but it's only a couple of months more. After that, I'm sure that all we will come out. Okay. So now, after crisis, before crisis have all gone now. The definition, because this pandemic comes once in 100 years. You may not see this pandemic later. So therefore, before March, we call it as before Corona, and after March, it is after Corona. So coming back to education, I promise that I will spend a minute or two. About 30, 40 years ago, it was teacher-centric. People were just delivering lecture, setting some question paper, you memorize, score, and get the marks. So that's of no use. People realize quickly, and they moved to education 2.0, where internet came into being. All of you in 90s, internet enabled learning. Things are in open source. You could go and search and things like. But that also was not adequate. Later, knowledge producing education is important, is what everybody realized. So education should lead to knowledge. So now today, knowledge alone will not. Professor Nirmal Kumarji said in the beginning, knowledge you need, skill you need, attitude you need. If you want a good opportunity, if you want a good professionalism, you need to acquire all these things. So therefore, today education is innovative producing education, where during 4 years of your graduation, you have to acquire all these three KSA. Keep in mind, knowledge, skill, and attitude. So in the same way, the industry also has grown. If you go back 18th century, in the Industry Revolution 1.0, the mechanical production of the machine were either powered only by water or small steam, very primitive small ones. But later in the 20th century, during First World War, you started seeing mass production, railway engines on the track and so on. But later, electronics and information technology made autonomous production. You don't have to go to railway station to book a ticket. You don't have to go to airport to book a ticket. You don't have to go to bank to draw the money. ATM, you go, if you have money, sufficient money, you can draw. So these are all possible because of the electronics and information technology. But later today, as in today, we are in Industry 4.0, namely the cyber physical system. Everything that we talk, we connect to something. That is called IoT, Internet of Things. Every gadget is connected through internet. So therefore, why I showed these two is the education that you get at your institute, you must be ready for industry. They expect a lot of modern tools and things like that. So I will not spend much of your time on ACT. You know that induction program is important. You all gone through, you learned what is engineering and so on. Curriculums revision, of course, should take place every 2, 3, 4 years, once in 3 or 4 years. Training of the internship is important for student. You know, unfortunately, this year you may not be in a position to go to industry, but I'm sure that when time comes, January, February, March, you do go to industry, learn something, then you will be ready. So examinations have changed, and they're online, and you have to be innovative, which I will talk about later. So now, still, my dear students, you have time to spend in the college, 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years. Good start is important. So, in Olympics, even if you are delayed 0.1 second start, you will miss the medal. So therefore, now you cannot afford to miss any time. Our great Sir C.V. Raman said long ago, about quality of education. Those days, I quote, students of today are being taught by teachers of yesterday with curriculum which is day before yesterday. So it is not possible. In the new education policy, we have to be in abreast. We have to update our curriculum. The student, teacher, everything has to be updated. So now let me talk 5-10 minutes about learning. What do you mean by learning? Suppose you hear somebody for 1 hour, you think you retain everything? No. What the research says is, by listening to 1 hour a lecture, you retain only 5%. So therefore, how do I retain? Retention is important. Whatever I heard in a lecture class, you have to supplement. The one thing is reading. If you read the same day, whatever the lectures that you heard, then your retention goes up to 10%. Audio visual, this is very important. Definitely you have an opportunity these days. So if you do that, 20%. Demonstration, whatever concept that you learn, don't you go to lab and then do experiment and then understand the application of those devices. So therefore that makes your retention 30%. Group discussion among your student will enhance your retention to 40%, 50%. Practice by doing your lab, internship, mini project, major project will enhance 75%. And teaching others, that makes a lot of difference. When I was there in the 8th standard, I was teaching my own colleagues. That makes a lot of difference for you. So whatever little you know, you teach to the other colleagues or friends. That way, 90% is retained. Once you teach, then you become, a lot of things get cleared. So therefore, the learning and retentions are very important. A passive learning is only mere hearing the talk will not help you. You have to add with all these ingredients, then it becomes a active learning process. So just a minute to say that 10 seconds, outcome-based education, Professor Nirmal Kumar Ji said, what is an engineer? You're all going to become an engineer. So therefore, according to me, an engineer should have 4 important qualities. One is learning. No, you have to learn next 4 years. And it is not enough. You must practice. Anything that you do in engineering, doing, practicing, practice. You know theory, you cannot go to the road and drive your car. You have to learn how to clutch, how to change the brake, how to, all those things will come by practice. So therefore, labs are important. And your mini projects or, the tech fest that they do, any activity they do for learning, for practicing is important. As an engineer, is for living. You should be proud alumni of the Bharatpur College. Self-esteem. I am proud. Oh, I am graduated. I learned from my teacher. I'm in this job. Then engineering is for society. Do something for society. Whatever you can do, not necessarily money. You can give back to society in some. Outcome-based education, all of you have been following. What it means, outcome, output. Suppose you get some job, is output. Good job is outcome. Professional, if you take employability, I am in civil engineering, I get a job in this. A civil engineer go to some job for 15,000, nothing to do with a civil engineering, is just a placement. So placement is output, employability is outcome. Result, 100% result in the college is output. No, of the 100%, 80% of them are distinction is outcome. So outcome is important. So the education that we are giving today, it should have an outcome. That means now anywhere you go, nobody will say what are the courses that you have studied. What is that you can do after studying these courses? That is important. That is application. That is engineering. So our government college has got a vision as a mission. Vision is a broad statement. I want to become a top college in Bihar. That can be a vision. How do you do it? With good teaching, with good infrastructure, with good, that is a mission. So with mission, you reach your vision. If you want to reach a mission, every program, civil, mechanical, electrical, each department have some objective, program educational objective. And these objectives are also broad. So therefore, they will have some outcome, which I will show you in the next slide. These outcomes is what you have to acquire in the next 4 years. These outcomes will come from course, from theory, from seminar, from project, from internship. So this generally called as graduate attributes. That means once you become a graduate, you should acquire these qualities. In India, we call program outcome, which is in America, they call graduate attribute. All of you know, in the first year, we learn physics, chemistry, drawing, and so on. That's where engineering knowledge comes. Science is important. Without science, there is no engineering. Without science and engineering, there is no technology. I told you, car will not come onto the road. Problem analysis. All of you have to learn how to solve the problem, how to analyze the problem. Then next important graduate attribute is design and development. So any problem is there, you should be able to design and develop. That is an engineer. Whether it's civil, mechanical, computer, software design, hardware design, investigation of complex problem. If somebody knows C language and he knows how to write a program to find out an area of the circle, will not give him any good job. You need to take complex case studies and then say I can code. So therefore, investigation of the complex problem is important. Modern tool, everything cannot be in your college. So therefore, you need to go to industry. You need to go to other good institution. You need to attend somebody. You need to attend IITs, lectures, virtual lab. Then you get acquainted with the modern technologies. So in addition to these 5 important pillars, you need to worry about engineer, society, environment, sustainable. There may not be any course directly, but what you can do is projects that you do can be on environment, can be on the technology sustainability and society, health, water, and so on. Ethics, I told you have to be honest, come to the class, learn, that is a professional ethics. I don't want to be corrupt. I don't, those things are very important. And what is important in a professional degree is individual and teamwork. In project, 4 of you are there. You should know how to do project individually. What can I contribute? As a team, what can I contribute? When you go to a company, you have to work in a team. So you have to learn these things. Communication, extremely important. And project management. You develop something, you say low cost. How do you say? How do you estimate the cost? So therefore, a little bit of project management and finance you should know. And lifelong learning. Anything that you have learned last 4 years, you should go and then work. After 5 years, you may change a job. You have to get adapted. So therefore, learning is like a triangle. So as a teacher, he has a strategy to instructional strategy. As a student, you should know how to strategize to study. I told you in the triangle, reading, demonstration, discussion, you should do and learn. Assessment, take it very seriously. The assessment methods are very transparent, where everybody, teacher will tell you how I am going to assess. So therefore, marks are important. If you don't score marks, people also will not call you for interview. So score marks, marks alone will not take you. You need to. So then only the outcome will come from the learning. So learning, then what is the meaning of learning? Is acquiring a new knowledge, new behavior, new skill, new values, new understanding. Good learning is, it takes place where learner, like you, students, are clear about what they should be able to do at the end. I learned something. Where is the application? How do I do it? That is what you should keep thinking. So therefore, outcome is important. In the 4 years that you study, what is that I can contribute to any company? Suppose you apply for a company. They will ask you, how do you think that you fit into this company? So you should go to the profile of the company, and this is my competencies. Therefore, I can contribute. This is how we should project in future for your opportunities. So learning itself, the Bloom is a great scientist. He said takes place in 3 domains. If you want to learn something, there are 3 methods, 3 ways by which you can do. One is cognitive domain. Second one is affective. Third one is psychomotor. But most of the engineering subject that we study, it all come under cognitive. Now, all of you get familiar since you are in second year, third year, fourth year. So Bloom said learning takes place in 6 different levels. First year subject that you study, first thermodynamics, first law of Newton, they all have to remember. Concepts have to be remembered. Engineering knowledge. Then it is not enough. You need to understand them. That means you should be able to explain these ideas. That happens in the second level. Then when you go to the third year, fourth year, you need to apply to a new situation as an engineer. Anything that we learned in a class, we should be able to apply. Then is not the end of the road. You have to analyze. That is important. Any problem, you should have some data to analyze. And the next important last 2 are evaluate. So you design something. You have to justify the design. You have to decision that you take in hardware or software design. Mine is the best. Why it is best? All those limitations, everything you should learn. And lastly, creativity. Every class that you attend, you may not be creative. The project that you do, for instance, important, good project that you do, you can have some new idea, original work, and produce something new. Something new means, a little delta contribution to the science. So this is a mechanism in which you have been learning all through. So therefore, you should have a strategy for teaching. Also, teachers should have strategy. As a learner, you should have strategy. All of you know by now, in your classes, your learning is based on problem-based learning, project-based learning. Anything that you do in engineering, you have to take up some problem. Theory, by just theory, knowing theory will not take you anywhere. Hands-on learning. That's where you go to lab, do mini projects, experiential. You go to seniors, learn from them, go to teacher, ask some questions. With experience, learning is also important. These are the different strategies. Internship experience. Unfortunately, this year, because of the pandemic, you may not be going to industry, but otherwise that is very, very important. What industry requires, you would know by internship. Flipped classroom and band. Flipped means everything you cannot learn between 10 to 5 o'clock. Evening, you can learn now because of the COVID. Online, offline, blended. Something you can learn offline, something Saturday, Sunday you can learn offline, online, and class during the class you can go. So this is what through all our platforms which are available. MOOCs. I'm very happy that many of you teachers and also the students, I am told, you have got certification. At least Gaya College, I heard from Professor Nirmal Kumar, many students have gone to IIT and got certification. So that takes you to the other strategy that you can is co-curricular. You would take first quiz, presentation of a paper, then teamwork. You coordinate the whole activity. That also is an experience for you. And lastly, peer instruction. Peers means student. Make a pair, 3-4 of you in a class. One who think is intelligent, another one little weak. All of you can come together, share the idea, think together, and that is called peer instruction. That means among yourself. In the class I did not understand, can you teach me? This is what we call it as active and cooperative learning. So among the student, you can make group and then learn. This will make you a good professional engineer, and you have a lot of opportunities. You can share, each one of you can share. So, fourth year, especially those who are in fourth year, try to do good project, meaningful project, which contributes to science, in a little, whatever the little contribution. All of you know in the project, there are many components. First and foremost is problem definition. You should be able to define what you want to do. How do you do it? You have to do literature survey. Unless you know what others have done, you will not be able to do something, out of box. So therefore, you need to do literature survey. Then you have to come out with some methodology. Then you should design, test that, then present it, write your dissertation, work as a team to someone is good in software, someone is good in hardware, someone in presentation, someone in literature. Then it can be an ethical, societal, environmental problem. So this is how the evaluation will be done to you by your teachers at the end of your fourth year major project. So therefore, please do worry, score, and understand these techniques. So therefore, in essence, in outcome-based education, next 3 years, 2 years, 1 year that you're going to spend, you try, each course is important, each lab is important, each internship is important, each mini project that you do, each assignment you do, each quiz you do, everything take it very, very serious. So Einstein always says, I never try to teach my student. He says, I create an environment. So I'm sure Bharatpur, Bhagalpur has created a lot of facilities thanks to MHRD, TechUp. Last 10 crore money was given. Please make use of all those tools, make use of all those equipment, and they have revamped the labs, revamped good computers, good internet connectivity, good labs have been created. This is what creating an environment, so that you can be innovative and you can come out with some product. So this is what I think the college is. Assessment, olden days, a teacher, you can see, he was assessing like this. Under the tree while teaching, students are very interesting. One is crow, second one is monkey, third one penguin, fourth one is elephant, and so on. So the assignment the teacher is giving is as follows. All of you go and climb the tree. And he says rubrics. If you go to the top of the tree, you get 5 marks. If you go to the 75%, you get 4 marks. If you go to middle, you get 3 marks. If you go 25%, you get 2 marks. If you don't climb, you get 1 mark. Exercise started. Crow can go easily and got 5 out of 5. Fast learner in that assignment, of course. And monkey could go because of the big tree, 75% got 4 marks. And penguin could manage off and then get 3 marks. And the elephant could not even go climb. He got only 1 mark. So there will be other assignment, other quiz teachers told where, the elephant got 5 out of 5 because he's also good in something. So each one of you are good in your own domain. So now there is a huge paradigm shift because of COVID. Now, written exams may all go away, become coursework, which is happening in elsewhere in the abroad. Tutor assessment. Tutor is a teacher. Teacher-led assessment has become student-led assessment now. Teacher-centric has become student-centric. Implicit is explicit. Competition is collaboration. Product is a broader, has become process. Objective, broad, to become outcome. Content, whole curriculum of the one subject is quite broad, has become competencies. You should be able to tell at the end, I have a competency in good coding. I know this, I know these tools. That is how you should be able to do. Course assessment will become all. So innovative learning, just to sum up, problem solving sessions will be there in your course. Open discussion during the tutorial, problem solving again, and some other case studies, acquaintance with the real world problem. Then you have to go to industry and take them case studies and then discuss. And finally, cooperative learning among the students you can do. Project-based learning, many projects at the end of semester, at the end of every year, try to do small spark project. That will make you understand engineering and you become a professional engineer, and opportunities are plenty. And student presentation, extremely important. Seminar you give, even if they don't ask, among the students you start giving seminars. So education should be meaningful. It provides knowledge, it provides know-how, it provides wisdom, it provides character. Know-how, knowledge, understand the basic principle of formal and non-formal. Know-how is important. At the end of 4 years, to do things rightly, what is the right thing to do? And wisdom, what is the priority? If there are 3-4 things, which one should I do first? That is important, you should learn. Character, to make trustworthy and responsible member of the society. I am a proud alumni of Bhagalpur College of Engineering. That is what is important. So therefore, in the present situation, you are shifting from online, I told you blended mode, flip classroom, split classroom. A day may come where 60 student, 30 student may go on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Another 30 Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Sunday is a holiday for you to enjoy. So this is called split classroom. So finally, your learning pedagogy, you should acquire these qualities. What are they? Critical thinking, important. Problem solving. You should be able to solve, lot of problems during your tenure. Reasoning is important for an engineer, professional engineer. Creativity. So the project that you do, try, be curious, ask yourself. Imagination is important. And innovation, be innovative. A person who said, I can bicycle with 2-wheel, I can balance, is an innovation. A fellow who said pencil, you take your astronaut, was given a pencil to write down the document because pen doesn't write, because of the gravity. That is innovation. Wright brothers thought we can fly. Today we are all flying in a way. So small things in the beginning will become a very big. So think small way, then finally, that's called, entrepreneur. Future is going to be, after 3, 4, 5 years, you don't have to work for some company. You can start your own startup, give jobs to other 2, 3, 4, and make your own. This is called entrepreneurship. I don't seek job, I give jobs to others. This is where you have to move on. So therefore, future is going to be a different trend, diverse time and diverse place. Today I'm in Bangalore. You are in Bhagalpur. And you maybe in some of you in college, some of you at home, wherever you are, you're listening. And some lecture may be given by a person in America in the morning, American time. And for us, it is evening. So this is called diverse time, diverse place. Virtual platforms, virtual conference, virtual interaction, all these things are happening. Personalized learning. So the artificial intelligence technology and all that will make who is a fast learner, who is a slow learner, how do we do? Choice, electives that they are going to give a basket where you try to pick up the basket where you can learn something and do project in that will have a greater opportunity for you. Project-based learning, please do that. That ensures you a job. Field experience, that is internship again. Data interpretation, that is extremely important for an engineer. If some data is given, how do I analyze? Exams will change, have already changed. Student ownership, you own it. This is my learning. This is what I have learned. This is a new thing. Beyond curriculum, I have learned this certification, Coursera. Today you have plenty of things to learn from IIT, NIT, and other good things. So the networking is extremely important. So 21st century learning, has got different component. If you look at the, one part, green one, interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary. Now, I think 4 students can be from to civil to electronics can do something, mechanical and computer, mechanical and electronics. So you come and then do some project of interdisciplinary nature. Now, that's going to be the order of the day. The second one is, the operation, the artificial intelligence is going to play a major role. Soft skill, I told you, communication skill, cooperation, and also language skill. That is very important. How to write a technical paper, how to write a technical paper, small, not that your research paper that you. And the other one is very important in this is creativity. That is dealing with uncertainties. Uncertainties are there because of COVID, but how do I take care? Innovation. How can we innovate? Finally, you need to learn how to live, lifelong living, expanding the your adaptive and flexible. I must change myself. I lose my job, I go to next job. How do I adapt? These are all going to be the order of the day. So I will not spend time because all of you are familiar with the ACT. There are so many platforms, Atal, Arpit, NEET. Now you don't have to pay any money. Go to their site. Some virtual experiments are there, virtual courses are there. You start learning, beyond your curriculum. It's Swayam platform and things like that, which I'm sure that college is providing. Virtual lab, again, I will not spend time. If you go to www.vlab.co, there are a lot of experiments there in the virtual lab created by IITs, NITs. So you go, examine, look at it, learn. It gives you a great idea so that you are comfortable when you go for interview, when you go for other jobs. And, skills, industry, I told you in the beginning, you are in education 4.0, which is innovative way of learning. Therefore, industry, cyber physical system, IoTs. So therefore, you need 10 important skill. The first top one is problem solving. They expect when you go for interview, how good you are in solving problem, how good you are in thinking, how good you are in creating, how good you are managing with people in team, coordinating with others, and so on. And lastly, cognitive flexibility. That means learning. I am in a project, they will put in another project. You have to learn some other new tools. That is important. No, I don't know. How do I go? No, there's no bar. Now the jobs for 30 years doing same thing will not be there in future. You have to keep changing depending upon the demand and supply. So last part of my talk, I will talk about technology. Very important. Science is important, I told, and engineering is important. Technology is very important. IT plus IT equal to IT I wrote. It's not mathematically right, I know. But what I meant is information technology yesterday plus information technology today equal to information technology tomorrow. IT, BT, GT. Information technology 20 years old now. Now biotechnology, geotechnology, genomics, you have informatics, bioinformatics, so much, computer science, biology, chemistry, all interdisciplinary. So therefore, today research is tomorrow's technology. A lot of research that we do will lead to the technology. India, country like India, agriculture is important. Food security, health, drug delivery, infrastructure, climate change. So please try to do some project if possible during your tenure, so that gives an idea, some tools, software tools, so that you have greater opportunity. So please, all of you have can-do attitude. I can do. That is my mindset. You have to change your mindset. That is very, very important. It is like a flow. Civil and mechanical engineers know there are 3 types of flow: laminar, boundary, turbulence. The first year when you join, it's very difficult. It's like a turbulence. Very difficult. But when you come to 3rd year, it becomes boundary. With few difficulty you can learn. Laminar is easy. 4th year, the project, only internship. So therefore, at the end of 4 years, all of you should become a laminar flow. No hurdles, nothing. I can do. See, VUCA is a famous word in management. VUCA is volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. Especially in the COVID, yes, it is volatile. Uncertainties are there. Complex it has become, and ambiguous. We don't know what is going to happen. But you have to find solution. Solution is in the reverse direction. That is A, agree the situation, adapt it with agility. Agility is fast access. C, collaboration. That will lead to success. Finally, unified, as a team. And V is for Victoria values. Finally, so though VUCA is volatile, uncertain, try to find some answer and then do it. So in your professionalism and opportunity, there are 5 P's are important. P, 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 P. First P is problem. As an engineer, after first year, start thinking about some problem. It could be anything. Agriculture, health sector. After this problem 1 year, it becomes a project. And third year, when you go, this product is become a project, you make a product at the 4th year. Some of them can be patented. If you don't get patent, with this you get a placement. So therefore, problem, project, product, patent, placement. Keep this 5P in mind. Very, very important. And idea, you start thinking second year idea that become project and product. I'm sure that our faculty members, principal with the dynamic principal, Nirmal Kumarji, they will create everything possible for you. Don't worry about failure. Fail means what? F-A-I-L. What is F? First attempt, improving learning. So nothing to worry about it. Even technologies, are there plenty, which I will show you. So startup, those who have, out of 1%, 2% may have some inclination to do their own work. They have money to invest, therefore they want to. So startup itself has a beautiful concept. That is, idea will be incubated, then prototype, then we go to a product to a startup. Startup will become a company later in 5 years. So startup means what is first years successful? It should be successful. How does it become successful? Use good technology. How do you agility, re-engineering, team, uniqueness, persistence, and societal. Take some societal problem, write apps, write some things. I'm sure that all of you are capable of doing that. So technology, coming to technology, you have artificial intelligence and robot, IoT, Internet of Things, robotics, cyber security, data science, quantum computing, 3D printing, augmented virtual. These are some of the technology I have listed, but I'm sure that you have plenty. Just spend 2-3 minutes just to tell you the potential jobs that you have in this area. Artificial intelligence plays a major role in every walks of. Take education, take medicine, take pharmaceutical tech. Education, that it is being used for personalized learning. It is being used for examination proctor system. Artificial intelligence is used for diagnosis of a disease. And today, artificial and robots are used even for treatment. The surgeries are done using this. So therefore, a lot of futures are there in AI and robot. Blockchain is something to do with engineering and management. Everything e-commerce. Every transaction that take place in the world today is online. So that is a potential area where there are a lot of jobs are there. Genetic testing may not be more appropriate to you at the moment because you don't have biology and biotechnology. 3D printing, mechanical engineers and other, you design something and then through using 3D printing, this is called additive manufacturing, product design, lot of future. Augmented virtual reality. Today IIT Madras has done a convocation by using VR and AR, where no student, everything was online. Convocation degree was given as if you felt as if you are taking a degree. Everything is generated, everything is animated, everything is virtual reality with augmented thing that has been. So a lot of applications are there in autonomous vehicle. Say driverless. It may not happen in near future in India, but what is going to happen in next 5 years is electric vehicle, scooter, car, bus, trucks. They all will become electrical because no petrol and diesel future. So electric charging station, work on batteries, all those areas are very important. And Hyperloop, very high technology where Japan, they could go 500 kilometers underground with 10 minutes. And they've tested in Pune also about 2 weeks ago. So Delhi, Patna to Delhi, you can go within no time. That is called Hyperloop. Smart city is going to play a major role for all of you. Smart city requires road, good building, good communication system, and good light, everything. So therefore, opportunities are there for civil engineers, mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, and even communication is important. So electronics engineers, IT engineers, CS engineer. 100 smart cities which will go in the next 5 years, 10 years, they want to make 200, 300. Huge potential for all of you to work in these smart cities in every state in our country. So therefore, future India is great. Made in India is gone. Just make some product made in India and then sell it. Those days are gone now. Now we are in Make in India. That is new foreign investment. Job is given to for our people. Profit is ours. Part of the profit you have to give to them. Digital India. It is all digitized. Citizens are digital. Thanks to Jio, Airtel, etc. Governance is happening. Everything is happening. And today talk is being on digital world. So therefore, future India is great. So last one, therefore, professionalism and opportunity was my title. So if you want to become professional, I told you how much to learn, what is the way you should learn, how to, so therefore you need to have technical skill. I told you that is very important in your domain, and managerial skill, which is to get a skill, attitude. And thirdly, soft skill, that is communication, teamwork, time management. Time management is extremely important. Dr. Sumit comes even 10 minutes before I start my talk. That I've seen. Many times the people will come after the class is over. After the class, sir, I got stuck. Please give me attendance. There was no transport. There was a traffic congestion. You should not give any reason. You know there will be a congestion. Please be on time, leave on time, learn on time. Time management is extremely important. Training is important, not informing. If they go to Germany, they say engineers are trained. In India, engineers are informed. 8 semesters, 48 courses. So training is important. Internship, extremely important. I know this year you have missed it, but hope it will be made. Personality development is important. You know everything, but you fail to convey that you know. That is because communication skill. No shortcut. Don't use any shortcut, please. I visited about 5 years ago a Surat diamond company when I went to NIT Surat, known for diamond cutting. And one person who is the owner has put a slogan in the entrance of the company: I am nothing, but I can do anything. That person did not study after 7th class. He left home and then finally, he never got educated. But today he is a owner. You must have read in the newspaper 5 years ago. Those who don't have employers, if they don't have site, he gave. Those who don't have car, he gave. And I checked the technician who is working there, image processing, he gets 2 lakhs. That is the kind of salary he gives. So multidisciplinary, multitasking is important. So I spoke to you the last 1 hour, try to motivate you that next 3 years, 2 years, 1 year that you spend, learn as much as you can. Learn as much technology, have group discussion, learn what industry is required. Then you have definitely a great career. Whatever comes in your way, you take it. And then that's not the end of the road. After 3-4 years, you can always grow. In private, growth is faster compared to the government. So I wish all of you to have a great career. To achieve this quality at our institute, at your place, all of us have to work together, collaborate, tolerate the differences, respect the diverse view. Each one will have their own ideas and views. Don't say that is not bad, and because none of us are as smart as all of us. All of us together in Bhagalpur can do a lot. So student alone cannot do, teachers alone cannot do, principal alone cannot do. I think all of us put together, let us all put our hand together and see that we learn things so I wish each one of you today who are attending my talk a great career as and when you complete the graduation from the institute. Thank you so much. Over to you, Sumit. Okay. Oh, my friend. Very good. Energetic friend has come. Tell me, sir. Tell me. I liked your summing up and vote of thanks last time. Wonderful. I remember. Yeah, over to you.
We have been listening to Professor Shiv Prakash quite off and on. And as always, It has been very educative and enlightening. Today, when Professor Shiprakash talked on professionalism and opportunity before the students of engineering, he in fact showed us the diverse ways in which the students could upgrade themselves, develop themselves on the path by choosing professionalism as such. When most of the engineering graduates, when they pass from the corridors of different engineering colleges, they are rejected on this ground or that ground. This is the time when the engineering graduates, they need to introspect and think what are the shortcomings, what are the areas where they need to develop themselves. Because, you know, most of the engineering graduates, either they are not employed or they are unemployed. Even the NASSCOM, which has come out, which says that only 2/3 of the engineering graduates across the country, they are not to be employed. So they lack, in fact, the basic skills. They get that degree, but then that degree doesn't, in fact, give them smart entry into the job market. So we teachers also need to create a kind of culture. Professor Shiprakash talked about creating a kind of environment and culture in the institute. So this happens to be one of our responsibilities, prime responsibilities of the forerunners of engineering studies, that we create a certain kind of climate where innovation, where entrepreneurship, where learning skills, and some of the paradigm shift about which Professor Shiprakash talked about in recent times. So we need to tap those things and inculcate in the students such values and such skills, so that when they pass out and they go into job markets, well, they are easily taken into. Unfortunately, in fact, all these years that I have been interacting with many of the industries, many of the private organizations, they in fact feel that the students that we produce is more of a kind of quantity. And that is why, well, Technical Education Quality Improvement Program, which was introduced in 2001, probably it was TechWeb 1 and then TechWeb 2 and then TechWeb 3. Well, the major, in fact, emphasis on creating a kind of quality teaching in technical education. I know for certain, like some of the colleges, they have a deep benefit out of this. And some of the college have not really deep benefit so much so as could have been done. One area which somehow that most of the colleges, they have not been able to strike a balance is that of institute industry partnership. That so far we have not been able to build a kind of institute industry partnership, because institute industry partnership happens to be one of the prominent, ways by which we could create that kind of environment in the college. Technical people from the industry, they could come, in fact, to the institute, or students and faculty members, they go to the industries, and there is a proper coordination between the two, and we learn each from each other. So that is what is very important. There are certain areas also, although we have in fact procured a lot of machines, lab instruments are there, but then the thing is that all of us need to properly utilize those instruments, those equipment, and all such things that have been created through Technical Education Quality Improvement Program. So, Professor Shiprakash, I'm really very, very grateful to you for at least helping all of us to create that kind of climate and environment, so that we could produce, I mean, reasonably good engineers who could take pride in the fact that yes, well, we would be able to sustain this country by giving value to our value of what they have learned in 4 years' time. So thank you, Professor Shiv-Prakash, for enlightening us, and thank you very much. Thank you.
Pleasure is mine. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
So, Sumit?
Thank you, sir. Sumit, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir,
Oh,
for your
pleasure.
wonderful webinar. So, with this, shall we close this session, sir? With your permission.
Yeah. So, all the very best. Take care of yourself. Take care of everyone. Thank you once again for coordinating. It's a hat trick you have done. One on good learning, second one on NEP, third one on opportunities. And so I enjoyed with you all the 3 occasions. Convey my best wishes to everyone. Take care and bye-bye. With your permission, I will sign out. Okay?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Here I declare a session is closed, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Yes.